What's up guys, welcome back to another episode of the GC Informer. My name is Max and I'm going to try and somehow top the news that Vox did yesterday, even though that isn't going to happen, so set your expectations just a little bit lower this time around because that was some absolutely incredible editing work for Halloween, and if you haven't seen it already, go check it out. I'll link it in a card up above or in the description down below because it's an incredible news video. Vox put a bunch of effort into it and honestly really cool to be working with someone like him. Anyways folks, let's get into the news today. First up is PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds on the Xbox One X actually got a release date. Now we weren't sure if it was going to be coming this year. Microsoft had said it was, but it's entirely possible that it would have gotten delayed, especially since we didn't get a date until Halloween the 31st. Anyways, the early access mega hit will probably be the big seller for the Xbox One X, the massive selling point that they need because they don't really have any first-party exclusives. This isn't even technically a first-party exclusive. They just published the console version and it's supposedly coming to other consoles later on, maybe next year, but there were some rumors earlier that Microsoft is trying to extend this exclusivity deal. We don't know for sure, but keep in mind that may be the case if you have a PS4 and you're waiting on PUBG for that. It's entirely possible that it may not be coming to that as soon as you'd like or if ever. There is one big difference from the PC and the console version though. The console version will be running on Microsoft's Cloud Azure servers, not the Amazon servers that the PC version runs on. So this does limit the possibility of crossplay, even though crossplay probably wouldn't be very viable in the first place since mouse and keyboard trumps console when it comes to first-person shooters. That's not even an argument. Standard Xbox One enhancements like 4K and HDR will be coming soon after launch. Speaking of PlayStation, it was announced yesterday that the PlayStation 4 has hit 67.5 million units shipped, which is absolutely insane. In fact, the numbers are only rising. People are buying PS4s at a higher rate than they were earlier in this console generation, really putting down the argument that consoles are dead. I don't know where that came from. Now it's important to note that Sony's financial year runs from April to March, so this is technically quarter 2 of their financial year. So basically, in the past 3 months, Sony has shipped 4.2 million PlayStations, which is up 0.3 million from the same quarter of last year. Now, it's important to note that shipped does not mean purchased. However, obviously, if they're shipping out more consoles, that means that people are buying them and retailers need to replenish their stock. So it's still an impressive feat, 67.5 million. Analysts are predicting that they're probably going to hit a total of 80 million by the end of their financial year in April 2018, which would be absolutely astounding. Congratulations, Sony and PlayStation 4. Well deserved, especially with the slew of exclusives you got this year and the impressive amount of exclusives you got coming next year as well. So in some diversive news, EA and DICE are making some changes to the pay-to-win mechanics that were revealed in the Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta. Basically, in the beta, you can only get higher tier weapons through loot boxes and weapon crates. So the goal was to get players frustrated by constantly being attacked by more powerful players, and as a result, go and spend money on these crates so that they can catch up. Now, at least they're making some changes to address this, but they don't seem that beneficial anyways. Now, they are making changes to address this, but they still don't seem that beneficial in the first place. So Epic Star Cards, the highest tier of cards available at launch, are now removed from crates entirely, and if you want to craft upgraded star cards, you need to reach a certain rank. Weapons are now locked behind specific milestones, kind of like Battlefield or most online first-person shooters, and then class-specific gear and items can be unlocked by playing those classes, also like Battlefield or pretty much any other first-person shooter or any game for that matter. So basically the changes here are not everything is unlocked through crates anymore. You can still unlock things just by playing the game and progressing with your character. Imagine that, what a novel idea. The changes are still kind of pay to win, like those that pay to get crates will still have a nice advantage, but at least free-to-play players can catch up with grinding? I don't know, trying to defend this is just it's not gonna happen. They shouldn't have done this kind of bullshit. EA has been just filled with doing practices like this all year, and hopefully sooner rather than later this starts to make a change, but I don't think that's gonna happen because the industry seems to be leaning towards this sort of stuff. I don't want to sound old since I'm 22, but man, I miss the good old days of AAA gaming. The indie scene is still great, however. So at the Paris Games Week show, Destiny 2's first expansion, Curse of Osiris, was finally officially revealed. The DLC is going to be coming to consoles and PC on December 5th. The story is that the Vex and Osiris are apparently summoning Vex from back in the past and also the future to try and enslave everything. That's actually a pretty good plan in my opinion. Good luck stopping that, Guardians. Of course, the expansion is probably going to come with new strikes, new missions, weapons, etc., probably a new mode, maybe a raid? I don't know, this is coming out pretty quickly after the release of the official game, so maybe expecting a raid is too much, as cool as that would be. I don't know, this is really the end game content that Destiny fans have been kind of clamoring for, especially with the change in direction that Destiny 2 has taken. It's more of a collection game instead of a grind till you get what you want game. There really isn't a lot of endgame there, and that's really frustrating for a lot of people, including myself. And while I was kind of off the Destiny train after the first game's second expansion, jumped back on for Destiny 2, but after I reached the endgame, I've kind of fallen off again, and I don't think I'm going to be getting back on. Just really don't like Activision's business practices with this. I don't know how much of it is Bungie, of course, but just the way these games have been portrayed and how you need to spend money just to get more content and stuff, just not my idea of a good game. Just not my idea of good business practice, and it's just really not something I want to spend my money on or be a part of. Anyways, folks, that's about it for today's episode of the GC Informer. As always, hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments below on these news stories. And don't forget to check out the rest of GameCast. You know, we do opinion pieces, let's plays, more news, reviews, all sorts of great original programming. Thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you soon.